All right, so I'm back again. Everybody's so excited to see me. I can tell. You don't have to say anything. I can tell. Yeah, so I'm back for my Friday video, which is going to be a rant video, and today I'm going to be ranting about mental health and why everybody is still being so quiet about it. Like, why nobody's talking about it, why nobody's coming forward when they need help. Like, okay, so this one's gonna be like probably a little bit sad, but it's really important. And like I said, like, things like this need to be talked about more often. And it's, if nobody else is gonna do it, like, why not me? Like, I have a lot of experience in the area, so you can listen to me or you can not listen to me. Like, you guys know the gist of this. I'm just doing this because I have a lot of feelings on the subject, and I feel like getting them out in this way is a good outlet, and it also helps me to get some perspective when I get feedback from people who have seen these videos and comment on them. Like, I haven't gotten a ton of comments, but I have, like, you know, I have friends who have watched these videos who have given me some commentary that I wouldn't normally even think to go to them and ask them their opinion on these subjects, because these things are things that we don't talk about. Like, they're shunned. Like, we don't talk about, like, depression and anxiety, and like we all know that everybody has it, but like nobody's actually talking about it at all, and it's starting to frustrate me greatly. So that's what we're talking about today. And I think the biggest reason why I wanted to talk about all of this is because I recently had a lot of like family drama and trauma and just all the amas. It was not a good time for my family, and I'm not going to get into it at all. I'm going to get into what I went through because I don't mind sharing my story. I hope that my story will help somebody, because I've constantly struggled with this, and I'm still struggling with it to this day, but I'm getting a lot better at it, mostly because I have this platform that I can go on now and just talk about things, and it makes me feel really comfortable. And I feel like there needs to be more people out there who are talking about it openly and being honest and telling their stories, so that it's not such a like scandalous thing that, you went to the hospital, you did this and that, and like you have anxiety, you have this or that. Like, it shouldn't be about labels. It should never be about labels. It should be about how that person is feeling, and that person is probably feeling really sad, and maybe they need a hug. Maybe they don't need a hug. Don't be pushing hugs on people. Like, that's not okay. Like, consent is important, okay? Like, that's a rant for another day. Like, consent and me, like, that's a whole other thing. But like, we're gonna stay on topic today because I do think that this is really important, and I think more people need to talk about this. And I actually like did a little bit of research, and I wrote it down in my handy little notebook, and like, we don't need to see my handwriting, it's fine. But yeah, I was a little bit more prepared today. I come to you with some statistics, some numbers, if you will, and like I said, my own story. Like, I think that I'm gonna start with the numbers, because it's important for people to know these facts, because unfortunately there is a large amount of people who are suffering silently, and nobody should have to go through this alone. Nobody. Like, you should always be able to have a support system that you can go to when you're struggling in any way, shape, or form. And those of you who feel as though you don't have that support system, let me be that support system. Come to me, send me a message, say, hey, you know, I'm struggling right now, like, I want to talk. I may not get back to you for, you know, a minute or two, but like, I'll for sure get back to you, and I will for sure make sure that you're okay. And I will probably apologize profusely for being late at replying, because I'm super bad at checking my social media, which is probably not bode well for like my YouTube career. But this isn't really like, I'm not trying to make this into a thing, like a career for me, but it is something that I do feel very strongly about. I feel like more people need to get in front of the camera and say what happened. And what happened to me was, I'm not gonna get into like the nitty gritty because like that's too much, and I'm very comfortable sharing it if I'm asked a direct question, but it's not something that I feel comfortable with sharing with on this like super open platform. But I will say that I have experienced trauma in my life. I have experienced being like a lot of different forms of abuse actually in my life, and it left its mark on me, like I'm sure it does on everybody who's experienced things like that. Like, some scars are physical, and I have plenty of those too, but some are deeper, and you may not always remember that they're there, but subconsciously, like, there are certain things that'll make that scar burn, and you'll feel it inside, and it's not fun. It's not fun. I'm gonna try and keep this as you know, lighthearted as possible. Like, I definitely don't want to make light of this subject, but I also don't want to be like crying in front of the camera. Like, that's just like, that's too much. Like, I'm an emotional person. I don't mind crying when I need to cry, but I really don't want to be like that person. But yes, I have experienced a lot of trauma in my life, and it has changed who I turned into and who I am today. Like, it's shaped me, just like everybody's lives will shape them in one way or another. And I was a cutter for a very long time. I self-harmed for a very, very long time. I mean, I still struggled with it just this last year. So it's something that I've always struggled with, and not many people understand it. Like, people who do it understand, obviously, but the people who don't, like, look at it and see it as being like a selfish, like, oh, you're just doing this to get attention. Like, that's not what it's about. I don't care about attention. Like, as I, like, you know, get on YouTube, like, all fancied up, like, it's just whatever. Like, this isn't about me. This is about people who needed something like this. Like, I needed something like this when I was struggling, but I didn't have it. And, you know, like I said in my last video, like, logically, like, you may know that your family loves you. You may know, you know, that they'll be there for you, but, like, emotionally, sometimes that side of you is just like fighting against that logic, and it's just saying no, like, you're awful, and it's telling you like all of these awful things about yourself. And these awful things could be things that you have heard from people in the past, people that you trusted, people that you should have never gotten any sort of, you shouldn't have never gotten that from those people. Those people are supposed to be there to protect you, and when they're not, and you feel the way that they feel about you, and it's not the way that it should be, it's not normal, especially like talking about it like to other people and seeing their reactions. Like, that's a good clue. Like, when you see other people's reactions when you're talking to people about your home life, and they look downright worried for your safety, and you're just like, no, it's fine, like, everything's normal, and they're just like, no, baby cakes, like, it's not fucking normal, like, y'all need to get like a therapist, like, you need to get on that, like, that's not okay. And it's hard. It's really hard. But yeah, no, just this last year I struggled a lot with self-harm and things like that, and I ended up checking myself into a hospital. It was all in the middle of all of this COVID stuff. I wasn't allowed, like, I couldn't go to work. I couldn't there were a lot of couldn'ts. Like, there were a lot of things I couldn't do. Like, I was struggling to make ends meet, and I mean, like, I think I'm always gonna struggle, and I don't mind that. Like, I don't really care that I'm poor. Like, I'm pretty cheap anyways. Like I said in the last video, I live pretty cheaply. Like, if I have fancy stuff, it's because they're like given to me, and I appreciate that. I always appreciate it when people, you know, give me gifts. Like, it's not one of my top love languages, but I definitely see, you know, the thought that goes into these gifts, and I appreciate them for what they are, absolutely. But I do kind of feel a little bit uncomfortable when people give me like really expensive things, because like in my heart of hearts, I know that I will never, ever, ever be able to repay that. And it makes me feel really small sometimes. And not many people understand what that's like, because there are people out there obviously who love getting gifts. Like they're just spoiled rotten and they absolutely love it. And you know what? You do you. Like, I have no problem with that. If you can take a gift and be happy with it, absolutely do that, because the other side of things sucks. Like feeling this way about receiving like even small things, like it really sucks, because you constantly feel indebted to people, and it's a debt that you know that you're never going to be able to pay back, because you don't make that kind of money. And like I said, I'm okay with that. I've always been okay with the fact that I'm poor. I don't really understand why people feel the need to get like expensive things and spend all this money when like you can get like pretty similar stuff for a lot less of the cost. But that's where a lot of like my depression stems from, is like, I don't know, I'm just surrounded by people who absolutely love like, you know, the high life, and you know, all of the things that come with it, all of the benefits that come with it, and I just I don't like being in the limelight. I don't like being the center of attention. I don't like having to pay thousands of dollars for extravagant things. Like, that's just not who I am. I'm a very simple person. I can be happy just going on, you know, an easy breezy hike and taking pictures of nature and just being surrounded by the earth. Like, I can be happy like that. And because like my family likes doing that too, but the thing is my family is a little bit extreme when they go and they start like doing the hikes and stuff. Like, I got bad knees and a bad hip. Like, I can't do some of like the really, really crazy hikes, but I enjoy going on like, you know, just a simple walk through the woods and just being able to see all the scenery. And I love photography. I love taking pictures of nature, and one of my favorite things to do with photography is taking pictures of something man-made, like a bench or like a bridge or something like that. But everywhere else around it is just the earth and nature. And I don't know, just the contrast of that is just really beautiful to me. And or even like I have a few pictures. Sorry, I'm getting way off track. I bottom line, I love photography. Photography is a big outlet for me, just like my writing, just like my drawing, just like this is turning out to be. And these things became my outlet because you're not really surrounded by a lot of people when you're doing these things. And I've gotten to the point where I'm okay with being alone. I'm okay with being by myself, because like I'm a pretty cool person. Like, I think that I'm like, you know, I'm kind of fun. I laugh at my videos. Like, I will literally go back while I'm editing and I'm just laughing at myself and being like, people are gonna think this is so funny. And you know what? Some people might not. Some people might. Like, all that matters to me is that like I had a fun time doing it, and I'm really hoping that it at least made like one person smile. And I've gotten several comments from my friends complimenting me and saying that, you know, you go girl, like you do you. And I absolutely adore my friends. My friends are my life. They're my world. Like, I need my friends to thrive, even if it's from a distance. And that's what all of this is forcing us to do. It's forcing us to take a step back and view the world from a distance. And depression rates have spiked. Anxiety rates have spiked. And guess what else has spiked? Freaking abuse in the house and domestic violence. And like, a lot of people have died from domestic violence during this COVID time period because everybody's stuck at home. And sometimes they're stuck at home with their demons. And their demons are stronger than them. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. And this is getting really sad, but like, I think it's really important that people talk about this, because if you don't and you end up waiting and you think like, yo, you know, I'm gonna be fine, I'm gonna be fine, I'm gonna be fine, and then one day something small, it could be the most mundane of things, like someone could cut you off, someone could accidentally bump into you, you could spill a drink, like something so small can literally just fracture the entire surface of what you've been trying to hold together so desperately. And when that happens, when that dam breaks, like, you're fucked. Like, you just have to feel it all, and all of those emotions that you've been jamming down, that you've been ignoring, that you haven't been talking about, they come flooding to the surface, and you drown in it. And it takes so much willpower to get out of that and to breathe air again. But when you get to the surface, when you get past all of that, because you absolutely can. If you have the right people at your back, if you have, you know, like your homies, like the people that you call when you need to bury a body, like those are the people that you call when that dam breaks, because those are the people that are going to be like, I'm on my way over with a bottle of wine and some ice cream, and we're going to talk this out, and we're going to be good, and everything's going to be fine. And they talk you through it, and they make sure that you're okay, because they love you, and they know that this world would be a much less bright place without you in it. And if anybody takes anything at all from these videos I've been putting up, it's that you are so much more than you think you are. And I am so proud of you and everything that you've accomplished and everything that you are going to accomplish. And you are gonna be amazing. And you need to remember that, and you need to take that, and you need to hold on to it, because that is what's going to be your anchor. That is what's going to pull you up into the light and make you breathe again. Because when you've been drowning for so long, you forget how good it feels to breathe that fresh air and to be able to feel like the weight of the world is not on your shoulders anymore. So I think we're going to have to end it there. Bottom line, in the description box, I'm going to be leaving the crisis hotline, the suicide hotline. I am going to leave some information I'm going to start a Facebook page, and I know there's been a lot of people doing this. I'm going to start doing it as well. If you are in a situation where you are not safe, I want you to like message this Facebook and tell them, hold on, I gotta think of something cool, like something like, because everybody's been doing like soap, and I feel like that people might like catch on to that. So dream catchers, message me about dream catchers. If you send me a message on this Facebook group about a dream catcher, I'll know to check in on you. If you message me about buying a dream catcher with your name and your address, I know that I need to send the police to save you, okay? If you feel like you don't have anybody, that's not true anymore. I got your back. I will go up in arms for you, because nobody deserves to be in that situation alone. And nobody deserves to feel like the world is crushing them and feel like they have nobody to turn to. If you or your loved ones you feel are going through an incredibly hard time during this global quarantine that we've been in, reach out to somebody, reach out to a doctor, reach out to a therapist, reach out to your grandma, your grandpa, I don't care. Reach out to somebody that you know will help, and take it. Take that help. Take that help, because those people who are calling up everybody for you, they're doing that because they know that you have more to give in this life. And they're not ready to give up on you, so you should not be ready to give up on you. So, yeah. We're gonna end it there. And this is the shortest video I've ever done. And I am proud of myself for not crying. I'm a little bit sniffly, but it's okay. I will be back on Monday with another beautiful, glamorous makeup tutorial. And then if you guys want to see me ranting about anything in particular, as always, sound off down below, leave a comment, let me know. You can talk to me about what I've said today. You can reach out to me if you're feeling sad. I will do my best to put a smile on your face. I know that it's hard. I know that it's really hard right now, but you're not alone. I promise. All right, we're gonna stop it there. All right, I love you all. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and it's gonna be a new day tomorrow, and it's gonna be rain or shine. It's gonna be good. I can feel it. Trust me. I know. I'm like a psychic. It's a Mean Girls reference, and I completely forgot. It's like I have ESPN or something.